Monday morning. Just come out to finish all this off. Probably won't finish it today. I'll finish it in the morning. We've got the old bricklayer here.
Morning everybody, nice weekend I hope.
We're going to start doing some DIY bricklaying videos, probably start posting next week. The old bricklayer is going to teach you how to lay a few bricks, but the way he was taught. Now, if you're a bricklayer, these videos ain't going to be no good for you. But if you're a DIYer, you want to build a little barbecue or stuff like that, these could help you out. But it's going to be his way, how he was taught. So
yes, I'll show you the exact way that the two bricklayers, the two Polish bricklayers, taught me from the very first day that I started working with them.
Right. You can now follow us on Instagram, The Old Bricklayer. If you check my community post, you can follow us on there. I'll start putting some posts on there very soon. I need to get 100 followers on there before I put a post. I've got 7. I opened it up last night and I've got 7. When I get to 100, we'll start posting on there as well. That way, I've opened that up, so if you want to send me a direct message, you can. Just makes it easier than doing it on YouTube, because obviously you can't send me a message. So we're going to start getting all this in, and we'll get back to you when we've done a little bit. Right, I've got that bit in. I'm just waiting to finish that bit off and put that in. It's about 9:30. I was just round talking to the next door neighbour so I can send him a quote for lintels, repointing and stuff like that. And I was also across the road doing another quote. The old Bricky's just got out of the van. I think he's cold. I might even take him home. So I'm just going to get through this next little bit here. I'm going to move all my trestles and go through that bit, try and get to the end, and then bring these piers down to there and to there. And then in the morning, change them 3 bricks. I went to Juicing this morning and I got another brick. I just couldn't leave it out, so I cut that out on Friday. I'm going to do them too. So we're nearly there. Do you want me to drop you home?
No, I'll be alright.
You sure?
Yeah. Right, I just finished a good chapter of my book, so I'll leave that for a minute. And I'm going to creep up and see if I can catch Ben not working. We've got to be quiet now because he's got ears like a bat. All right, Ben?
Yeah, loving life on this scaffold.
You must have spotted me coming. I'm sure you were sitting down for a minute.
What?
You must have spotted me coming because I'm sure you were sitting down when I got out of the van.
I spent most of the morning talking to potential customers, trying to get
You
work
did,
in.
you did.
That's your job. You're supposed to be out calling for work.
They just think I'm a homeless person after some money.
Where's your clipboard and
Oh, I ain't got a clipboard.
oh, we're getting there, just got to do this all for a little bit and then I'll strike some more of these boards and get this done. Where'd you go for lunch?
I went and lunched. I got myself a nice hot pork sausage roll. It was very nice. I was going to get you one, but they were a bit expensive, so...
Not very nice, is it?
No.
All the bonuses I give you. I'm stopping, no more bonuses now.
Well, in that case, I'll have to move on to another builder who's constantly phoning me up. And he's offered me an enormous amount of money.
Does he realise that you don't work anymore? You're just a cameraman stroke supervisor?
Well, hopefully, yeah, but I never told him that. I'll wait till to get me first day's wages. And then I'll do a runner with it.
Yeah, another few hours. There won't be a lot left for tomorrow, will there?
I don't think so. No, it's all looking
Maybe an hour or two.
It's all looking pretty good.
I'm only
No, I won't be in first thing in the morning, son, so...
Yeah, no, I'm only working until about 3, half 3, because I've got 4 jobs to price and quotes to send off, so
Yeah,
I'm going to get them done as a priority.
Yeah, you must get your quotes back within a couple of days. I've always done that.
And I'll finish this one in the morning. I've got a couple of days off, you see, so I'm not really rushing to finish this before I start another job. It's looking really good.
Yeah, it is looking good. Like I say, with the quotes, you've got to try and get them back as quick as you can, so the customer knows what they're being charged.
Well, sometimes it's a benefit getting them back quick. Sometimes they'll use your quote to barter the other builders.
Well, that's part and parcel of the game, isn't it? But I always maintain that
Sometimes
they'd like to know as soon as possible. But there you go.
always turn up on time.
Do you remember that job we went to look at? And the gentleman said, "Oh, you're spot on time." I said, "Well, I normally try to be." He said the last chap that came was about 3 hours late, and then he asked me for a piece of paper and a pen. So the chap asked him what he wanted it for. He said, "Oh, just to take down some particulars to do my quote." So, which isn't very professional, is it, Ben?
No, you should always get there on time, get your quote back when you say you will, but some builders ain't very professional, are they?
No, some don't even turn up.
You know?
Yeah. The amount of people we spoke to, and the builder said he'd come, but he's never turned up. But we always turn up, come rain or shine.
You know, with us, sometimes the customer ain't there.
Yeah,
And one thing with me is if you agree a time and you're not there, I ain't coming back. That's just me. You know, if you arrange to go at 10 o'clock, you wait half hour and they don't turn up, and the next day they ring you, it's too late by then. I was going to take you to the cafe tomorrow, but as you didn't even get me a cheap little sausage roll.
no, they weren't cheap. £1.50. When I was a boy, you could probably get 20 for that and change.
How much was you earning a day? About £3? What was your first wage?
My first wage when I was apprentice bricklayer was £3 and 6 shillings
What, a week?
a week. And I gave me old mum £2. But because I run out of money Saturday morning, she used to give me back £2 Saturday afternoon. She was a lovely old mum, my mum. And then we got after a couple of years, we got on a bonus scheme. About 2.5 years later, which I didn't enjoy because the bricklayers weren't very nice, shouting and screaming. I didn't take a blind bit of notice, and then it went up to £4. But they didn't want. There was 2 apprentices there, and they told the foreman that they didn't want us included in the bonus. So the foreman, being a really nice man, told them where to go. And what we had to do, it was all 9-inch brickwork on factories. So it was Flemish bond, so we had to put the stretcher at the back with a line, of course, because it had to be as good on the inside as it was on the outside. Yeah, it didn't earn very much.
I'm going to have to go at the top and finish this bit off because I can't get through.
Yeah, very awkward trying to get around this scaffolding.
Well, to be fair to my scaffolder, I told him that I was going to do the top and then take it down, but because the customer's waiting for someone to inspect the roof, I've been nice and let it stay here. So effectively, it's taken me longer, but it's not my scaffolder's fault. So it's not the customer's fault either. It's just the way it goes. I try and be. If I was a horrible person, I would just say, "No, I'm taking it down. That's the end of it." But I'm not really like that. But it's not the most awkward one I've done.
Right, I'm up here on the top now. Ben's still
bricks doing in between the scaffold.
In between the scaffold, very awkward. There really are some big beds. Awkward thing to do. You've got to do some from the top and some from the bottom. Bit of a nightmare, but he'll get over it. He normally does.
Perhaps first. At least 2 or 3 a day telling me perhaps first.
Do they really?
But they can say what they want. One thing I have to say, I don't want no politics or religion in my comments at all. I can't have it. There's plenty of channels on YouTube for that. My channel is a bricklaying channel. It ain't about politics, religion, no matter what your beliefs are. So please, can we leave that out of the comments?
I mentioned my first week's wages when I was a young apprentice. I think it was £3, 12 shillings. I'm not exactly sure. 12 shillings and threepence, I can't remember now. But I remember walking up the road home, because we used to get dropped off at the yard and then walk home, which is quite a walk. And I remember, because my dad liked to drink, to be honest. Me and my brother thought he owned a pub. But anyway, it was a pub, I can't remember the name of it, Red Squirrel I think. Anyway, I thought I'd call in there and buy him a pint. So I called in there and sat down, and he introduced me to all his mates, Leo and Pat Cowley, quite a lot of Irishmen. Anyway, he's gone up to the bar and he's ordered, unbeknown to me, a drink for nearly everybody in the bloody pub. Of course, I sat back down with my lemonade. He said, well, you better get up there and pay it. And I think that was just over £2. And I come back and I said, blimey, Dad, nearly all my money gone. He said, well, I'm trying to teach you to look after money, son. He said, you won't ever do that again, will you? And I thought to myself, no, I won't. And I never went in that pub again. I worked all week to buy everybody else a pint. And it looked as though they'd already had a few when I got in there. I told my mum, cool, she had a right go at him. But she gave me the £2 back yet again. Bless her. How much longer do you reckon we got here, Ben? Tomorrow?
About 3 hours today and about 2 hours tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I say, I've got quotes to do tonight, so I'm going to get home, get all them done, and then come back in the morning, finish this off, and then more quotes to do, and then I'm going to have a couple of days off, and I've got to get some materials for your bricklaying videos. What bricks do you want me to buy you?
Yes, as long as they're a reasonable face brick. I think.
Want flattens?
No, not really, because
What about some nice Ashburnham reds?
yeah, as long as they got a nice colour to them. So
Joking, they're about £4 each.
oh, well, don't get them then.
No, I'll just get you some like Applestones or some red Leicester,
Yeah.
Reds or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to that actually. I've never ever done a video like that showing people how to lay bricks, but I'll just show you the way that I was taught. Taught by two lovely Polish bricklayers, Dan and Bill. Got a few tales to tell you about them as well, which I will do while we're doing the videos about showing you how to lay bricks. I'll just show you the basics, because once you've got the basics, it takes them. Well, I've been laying bricks for 60 years. Not so much now, but you're learning all the time, and you've really got to concentrate. It's easy to make a mistake, get the wrong side of the line, read the drawing wrong. So you've got to have your wits about, especially if you're setting out buildings. Me and my partner used to set out a block of 60 flats. No surveyors, just me and him setting it out with string lines. Right, let's get back to this job now. Been scraping it all back now.
Yeah, that's how I like to do it. Fill it in, scrape it back, and then she's ready to.
In that way, it stops any smearing. Some you can't help, but
some bricks don't really smear, but these do.
No, these do.
The
These
wire
are.
ones are the worst. Antiques,
But,
whatever you want to call it.
as you can see, it's all looking all looking really clean and tidy.
If you film that scaffold there, the holes in it,
Yeah.
you're going to get me in trouble by some of the viewers.
Look at that,
I'm
eh?
not going to be happy with you being up here.
I
like
think he's
that.
trying to get rid of me.
But the problem is, he does what he wants to do. He shouldn't be up here, he knows that, but he just comes up here.
I'm hanging on to the scaffolding.
We've been working on scaffolds all our life. We know what we can do and
Yeah,
what we
very,
can't.
always been very
We've never fell off one yet.
safety conscious.
No, I actually fell off a gable. But that was my own fault.
I've never fallen off one, but
Yeah, I fell off a gable.
the young Bricky threatened to throw me off one day, but he didn't. Yeah, it's all looking very nice. Looks like a brand new wall bend, doesn't it?
Yeah, shame about the dirty bricks, but
No, you can't help that, mate.
still in the drying out process anyway. It's been what nearly a week now. So it's just what you want. You don't want it to dry out in 24 hours. You want it to take ages to dry out. So it's good. The longer it takes to dry out, the better it is.
Yeah, people are under the impression that it dries quickly, but
Well, it does in the summer, doesn't it? So you have to keep it damp, but it doesn't in the winter.
yeah,
no.
but when you're building a brand new wall, it takes at least 6 or 7 days to dry out properly. Before you should actually put another wall on top of that one. When we were building houses, we used to put a lift in and wait 7 days before they'd scaffold it, and they wouldn't let you on the concrete oversight for 21 days. But it doesn't get done like that anymore. More's the pity. Mind you, it was all what they call putlock holes in them days, where the putlocks actually, we had to leave holes in the perps so the scaffolders could put their putlocks in. Now it's all freestanding scaffolding. I think some countries use bamboo bend, don't they? Bamboo scaffolding? Bloody hell.
I don't mind going on the old bamboo scaffold, see what it's like.
I don't think I'll bother.
It can't be no worse than that scaffold we went on for that other company. We won't mention their name, but Jesus Christ, it was lethal.
Some of the boards are older than me
But yeah,
and more weathered.
yeah, this scaffold is pretty good. If I want a gate on it, I'll put a gate on it, but they
Yeah,
just get in
yeah,
my way,
this-
that's why I tell them not to bother.
This bloke's a good scaffolder.
It's a good scaffold, always turns up.
And there's a little scraping bit, which we always do it. And you can
It's
see
not so bad if the bricks are smooth, but
it takes all the little bits off.
when they've got indents in them like these, it just looks better.
I remember doing a job once down by the river Thames in Maidenhead. An architect phoned me up. He was for himself. Just explained that he wanted me to do the brickwork. So he just gave me a rough idea over the phone, which I did do. And I was to meet him on site the following week sometime, I think. Anyway, I won't tell you the architect's name, but he's quite a popular architect. And when I get there, all the bricks are white, which is not a problem. So I said to him, when's the mortar coming? He said, well, that's not coming till the middle of next week. And he had it put in skips so that there was no mess. So I went, fair enough. So we agreed the price. And that was it. Anyway, so I asked 2 of my bricklayers if they wanted to build this house. They had a bit of an argument. They all did, not an argument, a bit of banter about they wanted to, but they all wanted to go really. Anyway, so I told them because they was all really good bricklayers, so they decided on the 2 that went. I think it was Dick and someone else, I can't remember now. Anyway, off they go. Anyway, about a half hour later, Dick, because it was only not far from where we were working, Dick pulled up in his car. Well, all right, Dick, he said, well, yeah, I'm all right, he said, but we might have a bit of a problem. I said, why is that? He said, well, the mortar's there. And I said, yeah. He said, well, it's jet black. I went, no. He went, it is. So you can imagine, can't you? White bricks and black muck. So I'm on the phone to the architect. He starts laughing. I know, he said, I thought I'd keep that as a surprise. And I said to him, look, I said, we can't really do that on a price. So we agreed a day work rate. And the two bricklayers had done an absolutely beautiful job of the brickwork. A lot of it was smoked glass. So a lot of the inside work was white bricks and black muck. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this will look awful. But when it was finished, it looked absolutely superb. If I remember rightly, the architect won an award for that. I never got a mention, but he did.
You didn't build it.
Well, that's not the point, is it? I know I didn't build it, but
You might charge to build it, but
it was my lads that done it under my supervision. But yeah, we've done quite a lot for quite a few architects
How many
actually.
awards have you won in your life?
None.
Did you win any for any extensions for the...
Oh yeah, well no, I done a job. It was
That's what the woman didn't pay you, wasn't it?
yeah.
You won an award. You won an award, but you didn't get paid.
Yeah, I won an award. It was on a listed building, and they had to match all the monk bond and herringbone and stuff like that. And they had to come out and check it, and we had to just leave the window openings because they were handmade oak things to match the rest of the house. Anyway, they got a plaque to put on the wall, and anyway, when they come to fit the windows, I left the openings apertures, as they were called, and they were supposed to fit the windows. But when they come to fit the windows were 75mm too short. So they fixed them, and then they tried to blame me. Anyway, I kept a note of the openings because the chap come out to measure them, and I made him sign the drawing. Anyway, cut an awful long story short, they all started getting moany and groany and this, that and the other. Anyway, we finished it, and what we used to do then when we built extensions on people's houses, we had a young lady that would go in at the weekend and clean the windows, you know, just hoover up and just clean the whole place up. Anyway, after about a week, I went to see this woman and her husband about my payment, and they said that the person had scratched the glass and they're going to have to renew the cost of that. So a cousin of mine owned a little window company. I spoke to him and he said there's no way that a sponge would do that sort of damage. Anyway, cut another awful long story short, they said that this company were willing to come and get all the glass, do it all properly and stuff like that. And I said, well, whatever. I said, just let me know how much it costs. And they owed me £1,640. And you'll never guess what this company's bill was. 1,600 quid. God's honest truth. And her father was extremely wealthy. He went to Australia many years and years ago and started sheep farming, become a millionaire. He was an arrogant. Anyway, about five or 6 years down the line, she phones me up. She went, hello Mike, it's so-and-so, so-and-so, how are you doing? Because it was right by a golf club, this place. And she said, you know what, she said, a couple of tiles have blown off the roof. And seeing as you built it, can you come and do it? I said, as it happens, I kept a few of the tiles in my garage. Anyway, needless to say, I didn't go there. And she never phoned me again. Not very nice people, very wealthy, not very nice. Ben's cracking on. I'll stop rabbiting. Yeah, I've had a few like that. It's looking good, son.
Yeah, getting it. I'll finish that top bit in a minute.
Struggle, mate, innit?
Pub up the road, want to go and get some lunch?
A pub, or I fancy that, yeah, nice ploughman's. a nice ploughman's lunch and a half a pint of cider. But the trouble is, I've left my wallet at home again.
Yeah. 40 quid, go and treat yourself.
I've got 40 quid. I'm feeling the cold now, so I might get him to run me home.
Don't have time to eat, and I'll take you home.
And that £40 to keep me warm.
Put that towards your heating allowance.
Oh yeah, £40, and the government never give me heating allowance. I don't know what. That's it. Ben's finished that bit there. Look, as you can see down there, all brushed off, pointed, brushed off nicely. He's now doing the next section there. There's a satellite dish there. Mind that satellite dish, Ben.
Literally, I think it is literally wobbly.
If we damage that, they'll have no telly, and I'll probably have to come round and sing them a few songs of an evening, keep them entertained.
Yeah, they wouldn't be happy if I'd done their satellite dish.
They wouldn't be happy if I sang them a few songs either. I can sing.
What have you been? What Bricklaying videos have you been watching lately? Anyone?
I watched the Father and Son.
Steve and Alex.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, they're right there. What about,
Yeah. I found him quite good, very professional.
What about Tricky Bricky?
Oh, I like Tricky Bricky, yeah.
He's a character, isn't he?
He is a character, yeah. I watched him do some squint corners. Made a very nice job of them. Exactly how I would have done them, and exactly how because you can't really buy them anymore. You can get them made, I suppose, probably cost you about 30 quid a brick. But no, he made a really nice job of it.
Yeah, he's alright, he's a character.
Yeah, he's a character, yeah. I watched him doing a patio as well. Someone made a right mess of it, and he's on the machine, and when he done a retaining wall, and when it was finished, it looked absolutely lovely. It looked like a professional done it, Dick. Really nice.
I was in his live stream the other day. We're going to arrange a trip next year, and we're going to go up and we're going to make a video with him.
Good.
That'll be quite fun, actually.
Yeah, he does a nice job. Nice and tidy as well, clean.
Or we'll pay for him to come when we got a wall next year. We'll pay for him to come and stay in an Airbnb for a couple of days and pay him to work and whatever.
Well, I don't know about a B&B. I might let him keep in the back of the van.
I mean, we'll pay him well. He's all right. He's a good character. Right, I've got to jump down and move that tube in a minute. What's your scaffolding skills like?
Mine?
Yeah, to move this tube.
Absolutely nil.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever undone a scaffold pole in 60 years, and I've no intentions of doing it. Each trade to its own.
What's your thoughts on these price gangs making the apprentice bricklayer labour?
I think that's absolutely disgusting. All they're doing is using cheap labour to clear up. Absolutely disgusting.
My theory is, let's just say you worked on a site for the same subby for 50 years till you retired. Why do you need to know how to carry muck and stuff like that? You're a bricklayer. That's my thoughts on it. I think it's a bit naughty.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean,
was you ever told to do labouring when you was getting taught?
Well, no. Before we actually went, we were given two bricklayers to teach us. We had a meeting. Just the apprentice, because the firm I work for had apprentice painters, electricians, plumbers, everything.
Who did you work for?
William Hartley's and Sons. Really quite a well-known firm in Slough. Anyway, we had to attend this. I suppose you'd call it a safety meeting now. I don't know what they called it then. Anyway, we're all sitting down or standing up in this compound sort of thing. We had a cup of tea or whatever you want and a biscuit. And then a bloke called Michael Bryant, who was the director, he was in charge of all the apprentice boys. Nice man he was, Mr. Bryant. Anyway, he got us all together, and all of a sudden a man turned up with a shovel and a muckboard, and nothing on the muckboard and a shovel. He said, right, this is Jesse, I think his name was. He said, and he's a bricklayer's labourer. He's not an ordinary labourer, he's a bricklayer's labourer, and he knows his stuff. He said, right, he said, now without this man, You will not be able to do your jobs. So we expect you to treat this man with the greatest respect. And if he asks you, he won't ask you to do anything. He won't ask you to knock up muck, move anything, get any bricks. If you need anything, ask him. But you be polite and be respectful. And as it happens, when I was put with the two bricklayers, he was our labourer and he was such a nice bloke. I remember I went to move a board once and he looked at me and he wagged his finger at me. He said, I know you want to help, he says, but leave it to me. And that's what they told you. Treat them with the greatest respect. And I always did do.
Yeah. You should always give the odd carrier respect. Because
when I started working for myself, I used to pay the hod carriers the same as the bricklayers. I mean, hod carrying in them days was hard work. You had to carry everything up off the ground in a hod on your back up. God knows how many. 1, 2, 3, 4 lifts. About.
That's the term hod carrier.
Yeah, about
Nowadays,
so
they
high.
just walk around with a set of brick grabs and a bucket and call themselves hod carriers. They're not hod carriers, they're labourers. And that's my opinion on them.
I remember one day I was chatting to one of the odd carriers and he said to me, have you ever carried the odd? I went, no. He said, honestly, I said, no, I haven't carried the odd. He said, why don't you try? I said, all right. And so he put one brick in and I said, hang on. He said, what? I said, how many more are you putting in there? He says, 12. I went, no, I'm not doing that. Anyway, he filled it up. I couldn't even pick it up. I couldn't pick it up. Anyway, eventually, he put it on my shoulder and I staggered up the scaffolding and I didn't trip, but all the bricks fell out and got smashed. And I had to go in the office, see the site agent, Dave, and have a cup of tea to calm myself down. So, always have respect for the bricklayers these days. Haven't got any respect for odd carriers.
No.
But they're not exactly odd. Well, you know what I mean. Someone's work. We couldn't do our job without the odd carriers. And I had the same odd carriers. God, I don't know, 20 years. Some come and go, but I had Peter for 20 odd years. Eddie stayed with us for about 8, 9 years. And that's not what I used to do, and I paid them the same.
What are you filming there, the floor?
I'm filming the satellite dish.
If you don't like any of the camera angles, it's the old Bricklayer's fault, not mine.
Yeah, I'm not really a cameraman, I'm a bricklayer. So. I know Steven Spielberg. Yeah, you must treat labourers with respect.
All done in between the scaffolding. All I've got left is this little band here and up to there. Probably about 3 hours work, 3 bricks to change. I spent too long on the phone and out pricing jobs. All done in between. Tubes have been pulled back and put back again. I spent 45 minutes next door talking to them for that job. And a job over there somewhere. Then my mate was on the phone. Then another customer rang me. I need to get someone to answer my phone for me and price me jobs. But there we go. I'll finish this one in the morning. And then I've got a couple of days off before I start another one. It's looking really nice. Still not dried out perfectly, which is absolutely brilliant. We'll get there.